Hey everybody, TYT Sports, Ben, Jason, JR here, Turks and Jerks. We had a spirited jerk segment, which you should watch. Now we'll get to Turks. JR, please begin.
We had the quarterback, Landry Jones of the Steelers, came on with the injured Mike Vick for the second time in the game. Hamstring, head concussion potential. So Landry Jones out of Alabama? Haven't heard that name in a while.
Landry Jones out of Oklahoma.
Oh, it's Oklahoma. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So we'll start.
They're the same.
Yeah. So
they're both professional teams in the South.
True. So anyway, Landry Jones comes on, gets his first NFL snaps on the first injury to Mike Vick. You're like, oh, he's just going to run the ball anyway. This guy's going to be sitting. He's never played in the NFL. He comes on in the second half, 8 of 12, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. Quarterback rating of 93 in just a part of that game. Now, it was a great showing. I think some other members of the Steelers were on the line. They said this guy was calling audibles at the line like he's been doing this for years. And they're like, impressive. So, I mean, have they found their replacement while Ben Roethlisberger is on the mend? I think yes. Also, I wonder if the Cardinals were prepared for this guy coming on because they're looking for a runner, Mike Vick, but a professional team should be ready for a backup.
I agree. The Cardinals seemed bewildered that somebody who's not Ben Roethlisberger on the Steelers could pass the ball. And that's why Landry Jones is so much better than Vick, because you at least have to defend the forward pass. And Vick, who I root for now, just that part of the game is not there. Mike Vick is no longer an effective NFL quarterback.
And he used to be. He had a great ball before.
No, he just can't. It's not. This is not. Again, you had to fear it. You feared a couple of things with Mike Vick. I talked to some Steeler fans last night who were like, "Don't be fooled, Landry Jones. We watched him in the preseason. He's terrible." But the fact is, he's young, and it could well be that he's figuring it out and getting better. But if Roethlisberger can't play next week, regardless of Vick's health, Landry Jones should be the quarterback. You got to find out. You have Bryant and Brown, and you couldn't get him the ball at all. Yeah. All of a sudden, Jones comes in. You saw the play.
And just like you can always see Mike Vick has the potential to get hurt from the way he plays. And so does Ben Roethlisberger. He likes to put his head in the thing. So it happens.
And you saw, I mean, Antonio Brown's frustration was, he was like, throw me the ball! What are you, John Fox? Doesn't even make any sense. Okay.
Like I said in the jerk segment, it's never been easy to choose a Turk and Jerk of the weekend. Number 1, Daniel Murphy, second baseman for the Mets, teeing off on pitchers in the National League. He's going to hit a home run off every NL Cy Young award-winning candidate. Look, it went black because I talked about baseball. But the actual Turk of the Week in NFL standards goes to Al Michaels, because Al Michaels is a professional in every sense of the word. He's been a broadcaster for longer than I've been alive. And it seems like he's truly beginning to have even more fun doing his job. He's very aware of gambling in the NFL and sports betting, and he always calls it out for what it is, and that's awesome. Ben, you've been doing it for 65 years too, but that's okay.
He's at the network. He's been great, always, always on that.
So if you caught coming back from one of the commercials, he's saying over the B-roll of the food that's being made at the Sunday Night Football game in Indianapolis, he said there was even an over-under on how many times that me and Chris would say, or Chris and I would say, Deflategate. So Deflategate, 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 Deflategate. Just to totally mess with the over-under on the sports gamblers.
I bet they didn't pay that off. And, of course, that touchdown at the end from the Colts, that's exactly what Al Michaels would always talk about. I mean, the spread went off at about 9.5. That touchdown was the ultimate backdoor cover there for the Colts.
Yep.
When Al Michaels, he's the best. And when Al Michaels does a game, you just instantly know, oh, this is a big game. You hear Al Michaels' voice, you know it's a big game. His book is good. His guest appearances on Howard Stern are
great,
good.
are fantastic. Yeah,
he's terrific. So a good call there on Al Michaels. Once a year, we should always make Al Michaels the Turk of the Week. He's
just like
I like Collinsworth too.
He gives
us a really good team.
I like it.
So I have 2 Turks of the Week. They were both in that game as well. I would like to read you something, and you guys tell me what this is. Stillman College, Cumberland, that was preview day, then Miles College, Texas A&M at Kingsville, Florida Tech, shorter. Then next week, Delta State, then Valdosta State, Mississippi College, and finally North Alabama. What have I just read to you?
Friday Night Lights high school football schedule.
That is the 2015 schedule for the University of West Alabama Tigers. That's who
Tigers.
That's who Malcolm Butler was playing against in college. That's where they found this guy who went undrafted and then signed and then released and then signed before the Super Bowl, starting one game. And Malcolm Butler, to be able to, because not only has Malcolm Butler become an elite player, but Malcolm Butler is now the guy you put on the #1 receiver. I mean, he blanketed those guys. They were constantly covered. So Malcolm Butler, to the Patriots and to him for making himself a great player and a leader on that team, and a guy who clearly we know from the play he made in the Super Bowl, he studies and understands tendencies. He knows where that ball's going. He knows the quarterback he's playing against. And then finally, also for the Patriots, Jamie Collins, because when you can leapfrog over an entire line of NFL players and not touch anyone, because that apparently would be a penalty. But when you can do this, watch 91. There he is, leaping over everything. I mean, he didn't just block this kick. He could have taken it from the holder's hands if he had chosen to. He blocked it as a courtesy to not extra humiliate the Colts on that play. And at the time, could have been a big play. If they'd recovered the onside kick, a touchdown would only have tied it. So it was a big block. So the Patriots for finding these guys, and mostly these guys for making those plays. Jamie Collins, Malcolm Butler, my Turks of the Week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to check out our spirited Turks, our Jerks segment, which is also online. Subscribe below. Thanks for watching, everybody.